For the first time in over a decade, a key monthly jobs report has been postponed as employees at the Bureau of Labor Statistics face furloughs, this due to the government shutdown. Amid the holdout, Trump officials are warning mass layoffs at the federal level are coming in just a few days. Meanwhile, Americans are voicing their frustrations with the Trump administration's economic policies. Joining me now is Courtney Brown, economics reporter at Axios. So, Courtney, welcome. Many employees are still reporting to work. They're not getting paid amid this shutdown. What are the implications of layoffs right now at the federal level? What are the impacts, both during the impasse and once it's resolved?
Well, if workers aren't getting paid, they're not going to spend, right? So there will be, at least in the short term, some economic impact, especially at the micro level in certain communities. Businesses might not be getting as much demand as they are used to, especially if you're in a place like where I live in Washington, D.C., where there is a large population of federal workers. In the long term, Goldman Sachs has done the math on this. They've used history as a guide. You know, government shutdowns don't really affect GDP all that much. One caveat, however, is what the Trump administration is planning to do during the shutdown. Do they permanently lay off government workers? Obviously, that's something that would be, hard to mirror back in history. So I think it remains to be seen what the aggregate effect on the economy might be.
So we have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who says the shutdown could weaken the GDP. Listen to this.
Shutting down the government and lowering the GDP. We have a 3.8% GDP, and the Democrats shut down the government. That we could see a hit to the GDP, a hit to growth, and a hit to working Americans.
Is he right? I mean, to what extent could the GDP take a hit?
We saw the White House's top economists earlier this week circling a document around that showed some of the potential near-term, medium-term, long-term effects of a potential government shutdown. Obviously, they're trying to use this as a way perhaps to put pressure on the Democrats. This kind of messaging fits well with their broader messaging about the impact of a shutdown. But again, we don't have government data right now because the government is shut down, so it's really hard to tell, even on a weekly basis, if there is any effect on spending or employment. So it's hard to know right now what's going on in the economy, period. But hopefully we do get to reopen the government and there is government data, and we'll be able to tell what the ultimate effect will be on the economy.
So there are some new numbers which show a majority believe Trump's economic policies have made things worse. How concerned, Courtney, should the White House be as Americans are growing pretty frustrated with rising prices and weak job reports?
I think this administration is quick to be defensive about its economic policies and the way that the economy is performing under President Trump. The stock market is at an all-time high. GDP numbers, as Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said in the clip you played, is doing pretty good. But I think there is a similarity of what happened under the Biden administration, and we reported on this week. People feel really crummy about the economy. And I think what the White House has to remember is that with respect to prices, even if prices are growing at or going up at a slower rate, they are still going up. And that's that you put that on top of the massive inflation that we came off of in the Biden era. And people are really starting to feel the pinch. Again, it's the cumulative effect. And with President Trump's tariffs, there's the risk that inflation, and we're already seeing this, starts to reignite.
Okay. Courtney Brown, thank you so much. We'll see you again, my friend.